Hey, Christina Scalera back from the award-winning Contract Shop here. And this year has been a doozy, and here are the top lessons that we have learned in helping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you along the way. Today's video is especially relevant to any of you guys who do in-person services or help out with in-person events. The reason being is that we're going to talk a lot about how to cover your booty in case of very unprecedented events that tend to disrupt your entire life. I'm going to be talking a lot today about the L word, which is liability. And liability just means who is at fault when something goes wrong. We have seen a lot of this going around with coronavirus because it's been really difficult for people in the wedding industry and any kind of in-person service to figure out who really needs to be in charge of the rescheduling. Is it the bride? Is it the client? Is it the service provider like the photographer or the vendors? So it's really been a tough year, not just financially for some of you guys, but also a tough year to figure out who's at fault with all of this craziness that's out of our hands. I'm going to show you how to make sure it's never your fault, because this is something that's really important for every single business to consider. Every business should consider putting a liability waiver in place, no matter what kind of service or products that they offer. Now, liability waiver doesn't mean that you get to excuse yourself in any given circumstance, whether it's your fault or not. It just means that you are helping the client to be responsible for the outcome of working with you, because the client now needs to let you know when and if something is going wrong. This can include a global pandemic. More often, we see things like liability waivers when your business is engaged in some kind of risky behavior. So for example, I'm a horse gal, I ride and train horses. It's a pretty high risk behavior, and every barn that I've ever been at has something called an equine liability statute. There's only 48 of the 50 states in America that have these, and these are posted up in public spaces in the barn. Now, even though that's something that's provided by the government, any business can take advantage of liability waivers by simply stating whatever risks might be at stake in working with you as the business owner. Anytime someone is interacting with you, or especially if they're on your own personal property as a business owner, it means that they have the opportunity to be idiots. And when there's idiots at play, things can happen that we really don't enjoy or could sometimes even be dangerous or harmful to somebody else. That's where a liability waiver can come in and protect you. So if one of your guests on your property or one of your clients is behaving like an ass, they have already signed some kind of liability waiver because you're a business owner in the know and you've given them that before your services or before the event started, so that you can disclaim any kind of liability for their stupid actions. Long story short, there's always going to be idiots out there. There's always going to be people doing dumb things. And if you would rather not be a part of that drama, a liability waiver can help save you a lot of stress and anxiety along the way. The reason for this being one simple ask, one simple signature on these liability waivers, and you have disclaimed any kind of fault on your part for the things that are out of your control and in the control of the other party. Now, one little thing to know about liability waivers, a lot of people don't know this, but you can never disclaim any kind of negligence. So if you should have been maintaining something or checking into something, or you're a professional and you knew better, then you can't ever disclaim that and just say, well, they signed a liability waiver, we're good to go. So for example, if I rent skis and the equipment breaks on me because the place that rented me the skis never took a look at them in the last 3 years, that's negligence. They can't just waive away that liability. Now, if they had been diligently looking and checking the skis, everything was good to go, and I just maybe did something that whether it was dumb or not, I didn't know I was supposed to do it, like make a quick turn on my skis, or it was an accident. That's the kind of thing that a liability waiver would protect that ski shop owner from. One of the most important liability waivers any business owner could have on their docket at the moment is some kind of coronavirus waiver. You guys have probably encountered this in our lives now. Sometimes when you go into different establishments, they make you sign something that says that you don't have a fever, you don't have a cough, you don't have any symptoms of coronavirus. We, as small business owners, can be doing the same thing with our clients. We could be having them sign some kind of coronavirus liability waiver that says that you guys are both taking precautions on both sides of the agreement and that you're not going to hold the other liable in case something pops up. In the age of coronavirus, it's really important to have liability waivers to tell your clients about the risks of working with you in this very crazy time, and to disclaim any kind of liability that you could have for accidentally bringing in the coronavirus or exposing your clients to COVID-19. Hopefully you're taking precautions and letting your clients know what your precautions are, but we all know that this is something new and novel to all of us, so every single precaution that you could take still might not add up to a perfect situation where you avoid getting the coronavirus or you avoid exposing a client. We actually have this for free for you today. If you go to freecontractnow.com, you'll actually get our free coronavirus liability waiver. We're giving these away because we feel they're really important for you and your clients to have. And we want to make sure that you are continuing to thrive as much as you can in this crazy time. If you like this, make sure you hit like on this video and that you're subscribed. Bye everyone.